So let me tell you something, brother. As you saw me in the last video, nothing is gonna stop me this winter. I'm gonna keep with my training the whole year around, I decided. And not living in fucking Sweden, not even this 6 month depressing winter with ice and snow and below zero most of the time is gonna stop me. So I managed to keep it positive. I keep going out and running, and then in the house I made a gym for myself. Let's check it out. Whoa, I think I'm small enough now to show the magic place. The problem is I only have space to do that upstairs, and it's an old wooden house, so it's not isolated upstairs. So we bought an electric heater, thinking that, I was not gonna manage to train without it. But the reality is I'm using just sometimes, when it's really, really cold, and I'm talking about -10 or so. Otherwise, sometimes it's not even necessary. So, yeah. Oh, holy shit, look who is coming. The world champion is there.
-1 nada más, 1 grado bajo cero. Vamos a empezar.
Okay, let's see. Let's comment a bit the exercises. So yeah, that makes sense for starting when it's so cold. It's like it was -1, I think, but in the room it's like 3 or 4 degrees more, but still cold, for start training. But this machine is putting me in the mood. So here we go. Let's jump a bit to the next exercise. Otherwise it's gonna be boring, I guess. Yeah, jumping is another good thing to try to overcome the cold situation. And what else? Stretching. Here we go. I got a problem with my back. I always lie a bit forward, and I had that problem since I was a kid. But I'm really, really trying hard to sort it out. Some abs, but yeah, you can see, but it's a machine behind helping me. But that's why I can do so many of them. Otherwise, I wouldn't do more than 20, I guess. But with that machine, I can do over 100. Yeah. So after that, I guess I'm not gonna feel the cold anymore. I start even sweating a bit, checking if the camera is recording, checking the temperature also. And let's see, stretching the low back part. Yeah, it's important basic exercise. So yeah, setting the bench. So I'm guessing I will go for the chest exercise, my favorite. This for me is like 100 meters in athletics. That's the king of the gym exercise, to see how much I can do. There I got 50 kilos, and yeah, I'm in my own. This is dangerous, so you have to do stuff that you are 100% sure you can handle. Otherwise, it's fucking dangerous if it's nobody there to help you. So I managed to do up to 70 kilos. Too scary situation to try more if it's nobody with me. Okay, doing a bit more abs. Now sitting abs, alternating the exercises, as you can see. Cool. Let's jump to the next one. Let's jump to the next one. With this is another of my favorites, rowing. Here we go. Like if I was one of these guys in Venice. Very, very cool, nice, old school rowing machine. You can see here that machine. So I'm putting away in one side because it's not so much space. I'm doing the how the hell you call this again? In Spanish we call it like kettlebells, like Russian kettle, no Russian pesas rusas, but in English you say what? Kettlebell, yeah. And it's hundred of exercises you can do with that. I recommend you check just in YouTube if you go one of them at home or you are thinking to buy a new one, and it's a very, very, very cool thing for training. What the hell? Oh yeah, I was doing the wrong button, sorry. Yeah, so I'm just taking that away, and more kettlebells. Good, good. Doing a lot of different muscle, working in different muscle sections, exercises. That's the original one. Then doing what, the hips exercise, which I try to avoid doing this one sometimes because it's very noisy, and you know my girlfriend is downstairs and she complains a lot with the noise I'm making in the gym. So yeah. Now what? What's the next? Biceps, man. Let's work those biceps. Yes. Here we go. 15 kilos. Doing several repetitions. That's the way, would say the Mandalorian. Now, after the biceps, the triceps. Here we go. The triceps. Is the muscles you can do every day. You know, if you do in one session, maybe let one day in between, and then you do it again because the muscle must rest to grow. Now, after the triceps, the quadriceps. Here we go. Now let's put this bench away to have more space because, as you can see, the attic is not so big. I put a mat on the floor, and let's do one of the last exercises, classical weight lifting. I put there like 30 kilos. Whoa! You can do it, man. Come on. Come on. You can do everything, brother. Hell yeah. Yes, the camera is still working. No, don't worry. Keep doing the low back exercise. And some stretching one leg at the time. That's good for the back, I guess, for the legs and the back. Good one. And I'm thinking that's the last one, yeah? So it was fun to show you guys this stuff.
That's it.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna switch off the camera, then I have enough.